Jasmine, what is a barista?
Barista?
Or who is a barista, if you like?
I don't
Hello.
know.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Coffee is a drink made from the roasted seeds known as something of the coffee tree. Berries, bark, beans, or leaves.
Beans?
Yes, that's right, the beans. They're coffee beans and they roast the beans. Do you like coffee?
Not at all.
Not at all. Why not?
And I think it's too. And I don't like the taste and the
Okay.
smell.
What is your favorite hot drink?
Coke. Coke.
Coke.
Cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa, not Coke. How do you spell it? C-O-C-O-A. Cocoa. Cocoa. Do you like tea?
Uh, Little bit.
Little bit. So you like cocoa. If you drink too much cocoa,
Yes.
you'll get very big. All right. Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Sai, are you with us? Sai Yi Luan? Erin? No. Okay, Howard.
Hi.
Once the beans have been roasted, they are something and brewed to make a coffee. Ground, grind, grinded or grounds.
Ground.
Yep, that's right. What does that mean?
Um,
If you grind beans, what do you do to them?
to make into the small pieces.
That's right. You just put you put pressure on them and break them down into pieces.
Yes.
Okay. Do you like coffee?
Yeah.
What sort? How done?
Latte.
Latte. Okay. Lots of milk. You take sugar? Howard, do you take sugar in your coffee?
No.
No. That's a good boy. Erin, are you able to talk now? I can't hear you. I can hear you in the distance, but not in the microphone. All right.
Nicola, she's not here.
Oh, all right.
She's not in the big classroom.
Oh, she's in the
Probably
dormitory.
in the dorm.
Erin, you have to enable your microphone. It's not on at the moment. I can hear you a long way away, but... Oh, you did. Well, it's not working. All right, Erin, do the next one by text. In automatic coffee makers, hot water drips onto grounds held in a what made? Filter, fitter, cup or mug? That's right, it's a filter. Do you know what a filter does? So what does it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, what does it do? So what happens is we have a filter here, and yeah, that's right. They're very good. Make the coffee ground and water. So you put the coffee sits here, and the water goes through, and it separates. It keeps the coffee separate from the water, which is now coffee, and that's filtered coffee. Do you like coffee, Pearl? Zoe. No. Zoe, hello.
Hello.
About half the coffee sold worldwide is something
B.
trade, meaning B. What did you say? Which one?
B. Unfair.
It's not unfair. The growers are guaranteed a negotiated price. It's the opposite of unfair. They're guaranteed a price for their coffee, so they know they're going to get some money for it.
Fair.
That's right. It's called fair trade. What's a negotiated price?
After discussion.
Yeah, it's after discussion. And what is harvesting beans? If you harvest something, what do you do?
From
If you harvest crops, what do you do to the crops? You put them in the ground or get them out of the ground? So get them out. All right, where do coffee beans grow, Zoe?
on a tree.
On a tree. All right, so we've got a coffee tree. It's a bush, actually. So you've got... How do they get to your cup? What's the first thing they do before they roast them? So they go from a bush. How do you get them off the bush?
By their hand.
That's right, you harvest them. That means you collect them or pick them. Have you ever picked any fruit in your life?
No.
Never. All right, you should go to a farm and pick some fruit, like strawberries or coffee or I don't know, bananas. What's your favorite fruit?
Apple.
All right. Well, you have. This is your assignment for next year. Go to an apple farm and pick some apples. You need the exercise. You're a lazy girl. Thank you.
Nicholas, that would be
Yes.
very difficult.
Why?
You know where we grow apple tree here in Taiwan? It's
Yep.
high in the mountain.
That's all right. Send Zoe out there.
Yeah. Okay.
She needs a bit of exercise by the look of it. Thank you, Zoe. All right. Claire. Coffee can have a stimulating effect because of what? Which one of these? Caffeine, cafe, caffeine, or caffeine?
Caffeine.
Yeah, which one?
Um,
How do you spell it, in other words?
A.
Yep, that's right, caffeine. What else does caffeine make you do? It makes you wake up, but if you have too much caffeine, what else happens?
You can't sleep and your heart rate will
That's
fast.
right. So your heart rate goes up,
Mhm.
and you sweat, and you can also pee more. Makes you go to the toilet. Thank you. Cindy.
Hi.
Have you got a cold, Cindy?
Yes.
All right. Cindy, you're totally wrong about this situation. Why can't you just now, which one are you going to pick? Wake up and smell, get up and smell, wake up and taste, or get up and taste? Which is the best?
Wake up and small.
That's right. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Huh.
It's an unusual expression, but still. Do you like coffee, Cindy?
No.
No. What
Yes.
What do you do in Taiwan when you have a cold? You have a cold now, flu. What do you do for it?
Drink more water.
Right. What else? Do you take any drugs?
Yes.
What?
I don't know. The doctor give me, and I just eat.
Okay. Has it? Don't eat drugs. You take drugs. There's a
Check.
difference. Yeah. So you eat food. You take drugs. Unless they do strange things in Taiwan. Thank you, Cindy. Get well soon. Now, I want to talk about brands today. This is from a website that ranks all the top brands in the world. So you've got your rank, the picture of the brand, the rank, the brand value, the 1 year value change, the brand revenue, company advertising and industry. Michael, hello. Can describe in your
Yes, hello.
words what this row tells you about Apple.
For example, the column industry, it tells me in which field the Apple, uh, the which from which industry the business comes, like technology. So
Yeah.
it makes some devices like computers and phones.
Yep.
Uh, then it tells me about the value of the company for what's the what's the price of the company. I don't know how to explain it.
Which row are you talking about?
The first one, brand value.
That's right. Brand value is if you sold Apple, it would cost you 154 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else?
And then there are
What's
company advertising, it means expenses for the advertising of the company,
Yeah.
like how many it costs to make advertise for that.
Yep. And what's brand revenue?
Mm,
What's this one?
I don't know, to be honest.
All right. What's revenue?
Something what's uh, what's new, like
No.
when you make something new, no?
Revenue is income.
Income. Ah, okay.
Yeah. So when you have
Then
a
it's easy.
company, yeah, the company revenue is how much they made in that year or in a time period. Okay?
Ah, okay.
So what's Apple's brand revenue?
It's 233 billion dollar per year.
That's right. Is that good?
I think it's probably quite good.
Well, it's the best in the
I'm
world.
not sure. Yeah.
And what does this mean?
Hmm. I think it means either it grows or it decreases.
That's
Like
right.
if
Which,
you, yeah,
which do
I
you think
think
this is,
this
growth or decrease?
it is growth. Otherwise, there
Yeah,
should be
it's a,
some minus. Like
yeah. You're right.
maybe.
They assume a plus, and it's up, and so Apple have grown 6% in the last 12 months. Is that as fast as Google?
No, it's not.
No, considerably less, which is interesting. But Apple are
Yeah,
very,
it
very
is.
strong at the moment. When I was your age, Michael, Apple was
Mm.
considered almost bankrupt. They were not
Oh,
doing
really?
well against Microsoft. What changed their fortunes? Why are they now so successful?
I think people started to be more selfish, and they care more about the brand than about the technology and
What
uh, huh?
happened in 2006 that made Apple into the most
Steve
valuable brand in the world?
Steve Jobs died, maybe. No?
No.
What? Some did.
I like that.
What did they? Ah, no, I don't know what happened.
Have you got a smartphone?
Yes, but I use Samsung. To be honest, I hate Apple.
Yeah, that's all. Well, Apple in 2006
But Washek
introduced the
loves.
first iPhone.
Maybe you should ask
So,
Washik because he's really interested in Apple.
is he here?
Yeah, he
Yes,
is.
hello.
Oh, Vaclav, hello. Tell me about Apple.
Hey.
I'm not such a enthusiast into Apple, but I like iPhones uh, because I think they are much more smoother and easier to use than Androids. But it depends what purpose you want the mobile for.
Hmm.
If you want only to use it as a user, you should buy an iPhone. If you want to use it as a developer or you want to um make it more your way, you probably should buy an Android. But it really depends.
Yeah,
But I still think iPhones and Apple products are much more smoother and easier to use than Androids.
I do agree with you there. I've tried several phones over the last 10 years and I've gone back to Apple. I find for my purposes, it's the best there is. I have an iPhone 6 Plus, I think it's called. But in 2006, Apple introduced the first smartphone, the first iPhone, uh, and it's made them into the currently the most valuable country in the world. Sorry, valuable brand in the world. So they've done very well for themselves. Tell me about Google, Vaclav.
Well, Google is, I think, the most widespread company. They do a lot of different things, but mostly they have the web search, the most used web search in the world. So I think that's their biggest income. But I think the biggest value they have is that they have so much data from the Google search that they can use it really well. They have
It's very
so much
interesting to
data
me.
from people searching. So
They've got an advertising budget of 3.2 billion, which is fascinating considering they are online. You wonder why they advertise so much. But it's interesting. Michael. Sorry, not Michael, the other one. Vaclav,
yes, yes, Václav.
No, Vaclav, Michael, I'm missing the other one. Tuba,
Tuba?
are you here? Yeah. Sorry,
Oh my
Tuba,
God,
I couldn't
the
see you in
others
the...
are boy. How can you compare?
I know, no, I do know that, Tuba, don't worry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Sorry.
Sorry, I was Tuba, tell me about Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. Now I'm just searching on the internet, but Microsoft is the best. The only thing that I can say, because it's so big. When I was a child, Microsoft was there, and still Microsoft is the top. I don't know how can handle these successful things, but yeah,
Well,
they are really
Microsoft are not the
successful.
top anymore. They're currently
Well,
third, and in fact, they're a long way behind Apple. They're only 50% of the value of Apple.
yes, but yeah, Apple have a really different approach to this way. I don't know. Microsoft is always like a, how can I say? Yeah, Apple is innovation company. Apple is now bestseller. Apple, Apple, Apple. But I think Microsoft, how can I say, encourage these companies to improve themselves. I don't know.
Yes, you're
I think
right.
like that.
They were the first.
Yeah, but
Apple
they.
actually was very near them, but Apple went on to
Mhm.
phones, and that's what made them.
Yeah.
That's what made them very expensive. Before it was just computers. I'm actually using an Apple computer. I have m-
Mhm.
I have an Apple desktop because I like the design, and I've got Windows on top of it. So I have the operating system of Apple underneath, and I put Windows
Mhm.
on. And I prefer
Yeah.
Apple because I like the design.
Yeah, you like the design, but do you think that the Apple makes you the addicted of their products?
I wouldn't say
For
I'm
example, when
addicted,
you.
but I do like them. If I got a better product from
Yeah.
somebody else, I'd buy it. And I certainly won't queue up for a new iPhone. I will wait several weeks until I can buy one, walk in the shop and buy it. I see people of your age all lining up, sort of hundreds, waiting for a new iPhone or something. Do they do that in Turkey?
I think so because even if
Hmm.
your salary is not so high, all of the people just prefer to use the iPhone. I don't know why. And not just the iPhone, but always the new version of the iPhone.
Yes.
They are
So
crazy.
what
They are
what
taking
are
the
you using?
loans iPhone. But
You use an
I
iPhone, all
just
right. So you're
5S.
crazy too, I assume.
Yes. No, I'm not crazy because I just bought now 5S.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
normal
yes.
price, normal cost for a student,
They're so
but I don't
expensive.
think it will change. No,
Hmm.
not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Erin, are you able to talk yet?
hear me now?
I can just... Can you hear her, Pearl? I can, yes. Erin, which of these companies... I'll type this for you. Which of these first three companies do you think has the longest potential lifespan? By that I mean, which of the companies do you think will be most successful, say, over the next 50 years? Which do you think is likely to survive?
Nicholas, whom did you call to answer your question?
Erin. Tai Si Luen. Me. Can you hear her, Pearl?
No, we cannot hear her.
I can hear. All right. Erin, as we can't hear you, I'll just ask somebody else the question, but I'll ask you things where you just have to say yes or no. For some reason, your sound is not coming through to the classroom. Okay? Don't worry. Cindy. Oh, sorry, I've already asked you a question, Cindy. Go back to your sickness. Daniel.
Hello.
Which of these companies do you think will be most successful over the next 50 years, and why?
I think it's Google.
Mm-hmm. Because?
Because it has the highest value change per year, so it means it will grow very fast.
Yeah, that's reasoning. Lucy, do you agree with Daniel?
Yes, I agree with him.
Because? You like Daniel, or are there other reasons?
Because I think Google now is developing a new phone, and it may become a new choice.
Do you have an Apple phone, Lucy?
No.
What do you have? What sort?
A very small.
What make of phone do you have? Samsung?
It's a it's quite cheap and don't need a very high level phone, so I choose that.
Yeah. Can you get the internet on your phone?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Do you use it much for the internet?
Yes.
What sort of things do you look up?
Some normal program.
Okay. What do you mainly use your phone for? I typed that for you. So what do you mainly use your phone for?
Facebook.
Yes. Lots of selfies?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So you're not a selfie addict?
My friend Cindy is.
Oh, really? Cindy, are you a selfie addict?
No.
No? You should take one with your
Yes.
mask on. See if people recognize you. Okay. What can you tell us about Lucy? She said you're a selfie addict. What can you tell us about Lucy that's embarrassing to her?
Lucy always take my cell phone and sell.
So she really needs a new cell phone.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Phoebe,
Hi.
what is a beverage?
Drink.
Good. Can it be hot or cold or both?
Both.
That's right. Tell me about Coca-Cola. Look at the things up here, the headings, and just tell me in brief just these figures. What do they tell you about Coca-Cola?
The brand value is 58.5 billion, and the growth is 4%, and the brand revenue is 21.9 billion. And
All right. Are they successful?
yes.
Correct. Why?
Why?
Hmm.
Because the value has do growth.
Yes, but that's an opinion. Why do you think Coca-Cola is successful? Your opinion.
Because I think
Go on.
every country have Coca-Cola. Just when you
That's right.
like, yeah,
Can you sing?
sing?
Yep.
No, no.
Go on, sing as the Coca-Cola ad.
可口可乐的广告歌。
我不知道哎，我好像没看过。I didn't hear this.
You're a very shy young lady. Yeah. Do you drink Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
What sort? This or the Diet Coke?
Normal one. Yeah, this.
Hmm.
No, I don't
How
like
many
another one. I think
No. How many spoonfuls of sugar are there in one can of Coke?
so 12, 20.
Yeah, no, there's about 12. Do you drink coffee and tea?
Tea.
Tea.
Not-
Do you put 12
I did
spoonfuls
not.
of sugar in your tea?
No. No.
Why not? You could just pour some Coke in.
No.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't drink Coca-Cola. I used to drink lots of Diet Coke, but I stopped because I think it was causing me a lot of problems actually with aches and pains. What is a diet?
Food. So
If you're on a diet, what are you doing?
you are you eat less and
Yeah. Are girls always on diets?
always say we want to on diet.
Are you on a diet? All right, thank you, Phoebe. If you're on a diet, don't drink Coca-Cola. Each 12 spoonfuls of sugar is
Nicholas,
a lot of sugar. Yeah.
I want to point out one thing. When young ladies here saying that they like tea, what kind of tea do you have in mind that they are talking about?
I'm assuming they're talking about green tea.
And hot or cold?
I know they like bubble tea, but
No.
generally, would it be hot? Hot
No.
green tea? No? What is
No. It is. It's in plastic bottle and sugar-free green tea, iced.
it? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
They have that here too. There's a place near me it's actually a bubble tea shop, but they do have cold green tea that's got no sugar in it. It's very bitter, but I quite like it because of who I'm with, and she drinks about 3 liters
I'll
a day,
ask
so I have
TA
to buy
to show
it.
you some picture of some popular iced tea here. Okay, later.
That would be interesting. Okay. Jenny,
Hello.
Jenny, are you a Facebook addict?
Yes.
A little bit. Tell me about Facebook.
Ellen. Facebook is a social website that can connect people from around the world, and
Good.
we can make friends on Facebook.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Maybe.
look at this figure and compare it with these other companies.
Oh, it's it's higher than other companies.
Because?
And because it's the brand value change, right?
Yes, correct. So why do you think this is
Mm,
higher than all these other companies? What does it tell you about Facebook?
about Facebook. Mm, because it. Mm,
You said it's higher than the other companies, and in the last
yeah,
year, the value of the brand has increased by almost half.
by
So
44%.
what does that that's
Yeah.
right. So what does that tell you about the growth of Facebook compared to the growth of
Mm,
the other ones? Which is growing quickest?
it's brand value. Um,
Yeah, but which
I
which of these companies
which
is growing the quickest at the moment?
um, Facebook.
Yeah.
Mm,
Facebook has in the last year, its value has increased by 44%, whereas all these others, I mean, Google's pretty good, but look at the value, look at the increase in value in 1 year of Facebook. So Facebook is still rapidly increasing it's only worth 17 billion. It's nowhere near Apple. Do you think
yeah.
it ever will be near Apple?
Mm, maybe if they keep promote some new functions
Mm.
or
Mm.
that can attract people, yeah,
It's hard to
maybe it
say.
can.
It
Yeah, it's
might
hard to
one
say.
day rival Google because I believe I've heard some gossip. What is gossip?
Gossip. Um, gossip. Um, gossip is from. Oh, Mike. Michael can can explain.
Can he? I want you to explain it, not Michael. So what is
Mm,
gossip?
what gossip?
If you're gossiping
People
with a
say.
friend, what are you doing?
Oh, I will speak in a very low
Yeah.
voice.
Did you know that Phoebe has got hair on her
What?
ears? Phoebe has got hair in her
Louder?
ears. Phoebe has hair in her ears. That's gossip. It's not true. Phoebe doesn't have hair in her ears, but I'm just
Oh,
gossiping.
But she hear that.
Well, you know, I'm sure she's reading it. But anyway, I've heard gossip that Facebook is starting its own web browser. That was from a friend of mine who is into. He says in the next couple of years, Facebook will start their own web browser, so you can be in Facebook, go onto Facebook's web browser, and if they do that, they may start rivaling Google and Microsoft, particularly Google, because Microsoft. Do you know what their? Do you know what Google's? Actually, no. Do you know? Actually, do you know what Google's browser is called?
Chrome.
That's right. And Microsoft?
IE. Eh?
Yeah, the latest one is actually
Yeah.
Edge, but IE is the common one. Edge is Windows 10, and then Facebook as yet hasn't got one, but they're rapidly. Now, Google is the search engine for Chrome. What is Microsoft search engine called?
I
That's right,
Bing.
Bing.
Oh.
So Facebook are bringing in a browser, possibly with their own search engine, but they may use Google because they both don't like Microsoft.
I seldom use
So it
Bing.
depends.
Yeah?
No, Bing's never caught on. I tried it, but I don't like it. Google's much more user friendly to me, at least.
Yes, I think so.
Right, tell me about that picture.
Long tea.
Oolong tea. Yes, and do you like oolong tea?
Yes, I like it.
Why?
It smells good.
It smells good. It's got no sugar in it, I'm told.
Its sugar is very no sugar.
No sugar.
So, some of it has sugar.
Is it expensive to buy?
No, it's cheap.
It's in Australia. It's not cheap. We have these brands in Australia actually, and these would be $3 to $4 Australian a bottle. So here it's quite expensive. Okay, thank you.
One third.
Sandy.
Hello.
What is Toyota?
A brand of car.
Is it a good brand of car?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because it sells the car in many countries.
Correct. And what about its brand value and brand revenue?
It's great. The revenue is high.
Yeah. Is it currently successful? So is it successful at the moment?
Yes.
Correct. Why?
Because the value change is high.
Correct. So it's gone up 11% in the last year. I have just bought my daughter a Toyota yesterday. Or rather, she contributed. So I literally yesterday bought a second-hand Toyota Corolla. Do you know that Toyota Corolla?
No, I don't know.
All right, it's a very popular car in Australia, and it's a 1.8 litre engine, which is small, and we just bought Toyota because they are very reliable. They keep on going and they don't need much maintenance. So she's now driving her own car because she's been a good girl this year. Now, Sandy, if you could buy a car, what would you buy? A practical car, what would you buy?
Honda.
Honda. Okay,
Maybe.
why?
Because many of my family buy Honda.
Are they reliable? I mean, Honda, not
I
your family.
think yes.
Yeah. Yes, Honda was another choice. I had a Honda car for many years, and I didn't have much trouble with it, and they're very nice to drive. Now, what do Honda and Toyota have in common? So what is a characteristic or feature that Honda and Toyota cars have that is the same?
They both of them came from Japan.
That's correct. And at the moment, Japanese cars, I don't know about Taiwan, but Japanese cars they account for 2/3 of Australian sales. So they are very popular in Australia because they're well made, they're reliable, and people don't mind buying them. Can you drive yet, Andy?
No.
Not yet. Okay, good
I
luck.
don't have the
Yep.
license.
When will you get it?
After graduate.
Okay, good luck. Do you think female drivers are better than males?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because although I'm female, but in fact, female drive not so good.
Oh, interesting. All right, Sarah, do you agree with Sandy's opinion of female drivers?
Yes.
Interesting. In Australia, it's the different. Sarah, tell me about IBM.
IBM is a big company, a big computer company.
Yeah. Are they currently successful? So are they currently successful at this point in time, for the last year, say? Sarah? Are IBM successful at this time?
Yeah. Please say
no.
one more time.
Yeah. Are IBM, are they successful this year?
Yes.
No. Why not?
Yes.
No.
Or because IBM is minus 17% this year.
Yeah. And are they gaining money or losing money?
Not getting money.
That's right, losing. How do you know they're losing money? What tells you? What tells you that?
Because IBM is minus 17%.
That's right.
Percent.
And the minus says they ain't very successful this year. And 17% is a big percentage. In Australia, actually, we had. Do you know what a census is, Sarah? Census.
Census. I don't know.
It's where everybody gives their personal details. It's like a poll. So when I poll you, that's like taking a census. And every 5 years in Australia, we have an Australian census. And everybody in Australia must give their details and income and jobs and where they live and a few other things. And this year, 2016, we had the 2016 census, and the census website collapsed. The census website collapsed. It wouldn't work, and IBM got the blame. They were apparently designed the website and were supposed to have made sure it worked, and it didn't. So this is one of the reasons they've lost all this money. It's very expensive. Sarah, do you like coffee?
Yes, I like coffee.
What sort of coffee?
Latte.
Latte. Can you make coffee?
No.
All right. So who do you like drinking lattes with?
Huh?
Who do you like drinking lattes with? Boys, girls, parents?
I think girls like to drink latte coffee.
Yeah, but when you have a latte, who are you with?
My friend.
Male or female?
Female.
Female. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Lee Lin Yun, hello.
Hi. Hello.
No sports today?
Yeah.
Tell me about Disney.
Sorry?
Tell me about Disney.
It's a childhood. It's a cartoon.
It's not a cartoon, it's a company. Tell me about the Disney company. What are they famous for and why?
It's for leisure.
Yeah, what's leisure?
Leisure is for relaxing.
That's right. And how do they say the word in America? You said leisure, which is interesting because that's the way I say it, leisure. But how do they pronounce leisure in US English? Do you know?
Not sure.
They say leisure. So in my leisure time. It's interesting. So, but in Australia and in Britain we say leisure, as you've said it. Now, who's this?
Mickey Mouse.
That's right. How do you know Mickey Mouse? Where from?
It's famous.
Right. Now, what two products are Disney famous for? So what two products are Disney famous for? When I say products, I mean what two services or products?
Toys.
No. I'm going to say no to that. They do make toys, but there are something that they do that's bigger than that.
Program. like
Yeah,
movie or
yeah, that's right. For films, or if you like, media, multimedia. Okay, so films and animation. What's the other big thing that they depend on for their income?
advertisement.
No. What else? Where might you visit?
Uh, uh, theme park.
That's right, theme parks, like Disney World and so on. Theme parks. Have you ever been to Disney World?
Yeah,
Where?
I've been to a few countries theme park.
Ah, have you been to Disney World?
Uh, t- Japan.
Oh, Japan. Do they have a Disney World? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Um, I think it's still okay for the Disney theme park.
Yeah,
It's like for younger children.
yeah, that's right. I went last year and I couldn't wait to leave. It was so boring. So it is for
It's
children.
not suitable for adults.
No, well, it depends, but um, all right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Lily.
Hello.
I heard you love McDonald's. Is that true?
Who said that? I love
That was Li
McDonald's.
Yin. Li Yin. So, what? Tell me about McDonald's at this point in time.
um, McDonald's last year value change is -1. That means
Hmm.
uh, they doesn't make such much.
That's right. Um, is their income stable? Is it approximately stable? Their income?
I think so.
Yeah, it's about 1%, so it's not going anywhere. Now, do you know why McDonald's have not been very successful recently?
Hmm. Um, I think that people's eating habits may change, so maybe people want to eat healthier food, so the McDonald's
Yeah,
not success as before.
that's right. Um, this is a big problem. In the West, there's a lot of advertising now about stop eating too much, stop eating takeaways, stop eating rubbish, and McDonald's have a lot. They have a little bit of a decrease in their sales, but do you do you ever go to McDonald's, Lily?
Yes, recently I went to McDonald's.
All right. What
I
other sort of food are they selling now then?
In Taiwan, they are changed their menu to the more healthier food, like they're serving salad or
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, they've done that here too. So we have salads, we have low calorie juice, and there is, when I say, do you know what I mean by another arm of their organization? Do you understand? I'm just typing. Do you know what I mean by another arm of their organization?
Another arm?
An
Hmm.
arm means another thing they've done to try and increase their revenue. I don't know if they're doing it in your country, but when you go into McDonald's, can you buy coffee?
Oh yeah, we can. That's called
All
Mac
right,
Cafe.
all right, you do have that. All right, that's been a
Mm.
huge success for McDonald's, and that's why their income's more or less stable because of McCafe. It's very, very popular. Certainly here. I don't know about in Asia. Do you like coffee?
Yeah, I like coffee, but I don't buy McCafe.
No. Is what sort of coffee do you like?
Mm, latte.
Everybody likes latte. All right. Thanks, Lily. Tiffany.
Hi.
Hello. Do you have coffee? Do you have lattes with Lily?
No.
That rhymes, doesn't it? Lattes with Lily. What is GE? Do you know?
I've heard of it. It's an American company making electronic supplies. That's all I
Yeah,
know.
that's correct. What does diversified mean? Remember, this is the industry type. So what do you think when you say GE is diversified, what do we mean?
They have crossed different kinds of field,
Yep,
like electronic device or maybe
that's right.
chemical.
Now, if actually, you're right, they have moved into chemicals. They're also in medical imaging. What is medical imaging?
Oh, like you're using X-rays and it comes up a photo.
That's right. It comes up with an X-ray, not a photo. Now,
Okay.
there are three big areas of medical imaging. What are they? So all right, I'll put them in it. There's three big machines, different types of machines that produce medical images. Can you name them? They're all GE makes them all, but what sort of machines can you think of that produce images of the inside of your body? So how can we look inside your head or inside your tummy or your chest? What can I use?
I know that. MRI.
Right, MRI is one big one. Another one, similar to MRI, but
And
slightly different.
I do know that there is a something you swallow it, and then
All right, that's another one again.
pretty.
But I was thinking of
Yes.
CAT scanning or CT, and there's one other one where we use
CT.
sound waves.
Ultra, ultra skin,
That's right, ultrasound.
ultrasound.
So those three are the big. And then what you're talking about, where you swallow things, is
Yes.
in fact they're making little cameras now, and you swallow them, and they can follow the camera as it goes through, and it takes pictures of your inside of your bowel. What's your bowel?
Yes. Oh.
Give me another word
Oh.
for bowel. Begins with G and it's got three letters.
Three letters.
Begins with G, ends in T, and it's got three letters.
It's really hard for me. That?
Yes, gut. So your gut is the, if you like, this not slang but informal word for bowel. How long's your
Okay.
gut? From your
I
mouth
don't
to
know.
your ear end. It's about 8 meters.
8 meters.
Quite a lot. All right.
Mm.
I'm assuming that Taiwanese guts are the same as Western guts.
I think so.
Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Are there any more questions about these, Pearl?
How come McDonald's is under the category of restaurant and not fast food?
It's very interesting. They've always called themselves McDonald's restaurants in the West, and so that's why. And this is a selling point. They say we are restaurants. We're not just fast food. and it's a very good marketing strategy. So they've always had this thing of being under restaurants and not fast food. So that's just marketing, advertising, I suppose.
When we talk about restaurant, usually comes in with the connotation that they provide housing, right? I mean, you can live there.
Well, you can in
Or just
Australia.
eating.
You can have a meal there. And in fact, what's happened recently in Australia is there are now McDonald's waiters. So if you order a meal, you can actually get a young person, a male or female, and they'll bring you your meal. So you can actually eat in McDonald's like a proper restaurant. That's just come in this year. Where we have a big McDonald's near me, near where I live, and they now have waiters. So if you want your hamburger or your chip serving, you can have it delivered by a waiter. They also have got now home delivery. They haven't had this forever, and this year you can you can order McDonald's online and get it home delivered if you want.
And have you noticed where the call center is?
Where?
Yeah, the call center. Here, we can find out that the call center is in mainland China, and I wonder where is yours.
Is it?
Yeah.
Probably. I think
Yeah.
ours may be in the Philippines or India. It certainly is in Australia. If you ring up, you get, "Hello, can I help you?" And it's not an Australian accent. But it may be Chinese, I don't know. But India, there's lots of people employed there who speak good English and have got degrees, and they work for call centers like McDonald's.
They speak good English, but they are always with an accent, right?
Yes, it's very Indian. There are different levels of Indian. Some are very, very good speakers of English. Others are very difficult to understand. They call these world Englishes. And there's lots of different accents. We're supposed to respect them all, but we don't.
Okay.
Well, shall we have a break?
And when we come back, we'll have the presentation.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll give you back the token, Julie.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Nicolas. Now, as you can hear me, I would like to introduce you into some Czech culture and Czech traditions. As you can see, I showed the students the map of Europe, where they can see where Czech Republic is located. It's located in the middle of Europe, and here they can see, and you can see, the national flag of Czech Republic. And right now I was telling them that one thing about Czech Republic is that it is a country of really nice nature, as they can see here, and really nice historical cities, as they can see in the other picture. The first picture is from a national park called Czech Paradise, and the other picture is from the capital city of Czech Republic, from Prague, where I'm from. Now I will tell you something about the Czech traditions. I will tell you only about two because we don't have so much time. But I think the first one, as you can see, as you can see in the first picture, it's called, in Czech language, it's called Velikonoce, and it's similar, or it's usually translated into English as Easter, but it's not the same Easter as they have in America. And the one thing that is really interesting about this holiday, it's the thing that on the one day men are allowed and they are wanted to beat women with the stick. it's not like they beat them very hard, but they just beat them how much they want. But yeah, they shouldn't beat them very hard. And it's because it's told that if you beat the women with a stick, you keep them healthy for another year. And on the other hand, the women can pour cold water on them. But what is the most interesting thing about this holiday is that women actually have to give the men the eggs for the men for letting them beat them. It is, yeah, it's something I didn't hear about anything like that. No, never. What is a sad thing is that this tradition is slowly fading away because it's mostly in the villages and not in the big cities. So yeah, it's not so popular nowadays. The other big holiday we have is Christmas. It's a Christian holiday, but even though Czech Republic is not a very religious country, we really enjoy Christmas. We put big trees on the squares in the cities, and we also put a small tree in our room, and we make it look like, yeah, we make it shine and so. And on the 24th of December, the whole family reunites and they have a dinner. They usually have a fried carp, which is a fish, I think you know it, with a potato salad. And after the dinner, the whole family comes to the tree and they give each other the presents. It's different from America, because in America they give the presents are there on the morning on 25th, but in Czech Republic it's on the night of 24th. We also make some sweets, which we call Ch09, which is translated like sugar stuff or something like that. Okay. Also, some not so traditional holidays are the April Fools, where on the 1st of April people make some pranks on each other or say some not really true stuff just to make fun of their friends. Also, before Christmas, we have the San Nicolas, which is usually people make them look like on the picture. There is Saint Nicholas, there is the devil, and there is the angel, and they come to the families and to the children, and they, if the children were good behaved for the year, they give them some present, and if they were not well behaved, they give them coal. But usually for the children they give them the sweet, because yeah, they want them to feel like they were good behaved. Also, there is the 1st May, the holiday of people in love, and also the worldwide thing, the New Year's Eve. Here you can see the New Year's Eve in Prague. You can see the Prague Castle on the picture. The other thing I would like to talk about is some traditional food, but I will need to speed up because I already spent so much time. The first one is so-called Ch09, which is beef with the sauce and the dumplings. The dumplings are a really common thing in Czech cuisine. You can see also the other thing with dumplings, which is goulash. It's like Czech and Hungarian food, which is also with beef and the sauce and the dumplings. The third picture you can see so-called tatarák, which is also beef, but it's not cooked, it's raw beef. You mix it with all the stuff you can see on the picture. It's like onion, egg, mustard, ketchup. You mix it and then you eat it with the fried bread. It's really good. And the last picture you can see fried cheese with French fries and mayonnaise, which is like the pub meat. If you want to eat something cheap and fast, you can buy the fried cheese. It's also very popular. And in the end, I would like to talk about some fun facts about Czech Republic and Prague. For example, in Prague we have the Lenin Wall, where everyone can go and draw something on the wall. It's legal. But the interesting thing about this is that it's called Lenin Wall, but John Lennon have never been in Prague actually. So yeah, we have his wall, but he never visited Prague. Also, Czech Republic is one of the biggest atheist countries in Europe. I think we are the third most atheistic country in Europe. Thanks God. Also, we are, I think, the first in the ranking of drinking beer in Europe. So thanks God. Also, Otto Wichterle, the inventor of the contact lenses, was from Czech Republic. And also, about 24 years ago, we used to be one country with Slovakia. We were called Czechoslovakia, but in 1993 we separated into two different countries. The good one, Czech, and the bad one, Slovakia. And the last thing I would like to talk about is Prague Castle, because Prague Castle is, I think it's one of the most beautiful castles in Europe, and also it is I think one of the biggest castles in Europe, maybe the biggest one. And it's in Prague, it's in the right center, in the middle of Prague. It's one big tourist attraction. So thank you for attention, and you can find the sources of the pictures in the side note of the presentation. Thank you for attention.
Hi, I'm Jasmine, and I'll now introduce the Taiwan food. We all know that Taiwan is famous for small food and eat a lot of small food, and it was originated in 1920 with a lot of people selling small food on the street, and over the last decades we now have some department stores setting whole level to sell small it. So what's the feature of Taiwan small food? First, the first name of the food was usually a location like the beef noodle. We know as the Sichuan beef noodles, but it wasn't really come from Sichuan. It come from the other location. And next, there's no specific store when selling small food. We sell it on the street, so they usually have a low price since we don't have to pay the rent cost. First, this is known as guabao. It's like the hamburger, but it wasn't really a hamburger. It originated in China, and it was a steam bomb. Its heart was filled with pork and powdered peanuts. It tastes a little bit sweet, and its filling was chopped into small pieces, so there is everything in every bite. Next is a bubble tea. It's it became the necessity of Taiwan people, and a lot of people introduce it to the Western countries, so the food lover can taste bubble tea and let the world know Taiwan culture better. And it was famous for its QQ texture, and it was literally chewy and sweet, and usually was mixed into the tea to add into a mixture of black tea and milk. Last is a fried chicken, and it wasn't a fried chicken we imaged in Western culture. It was like a tiny fried chicken. It was chopped into small one-bite pieces, and we usually add the pepper and salt, which is a important process of this food. And there's a different of the flavor in North Taiwan and South Taiwan, where the fried chicken in North Taiwan they will be more crisp, and in South Taiwan they will have a garlic. So what is different of the small eat in Taiwan? In South Taiwan, they are known as to be more sweet because there are two reasons. First, because South Taiwan is the center of the farming, so farming is a high energy work. So they want the worker to have more energy. They will add more cell in the food so it can support their work. The next reason is the South Taiwan is was the main place to plant sugar, so they will have absolutely more sugar when they are cooking. So this is the reason why South Taiwan tend to be more sweet. And this is the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.
Hello, I'm Lloyd, and now I will introduce Taiwan tradition. Taiwan's three major traditional holidays are Chinese New Year, Dragon Boat Festival, and Mid-Autumn Festival. And Chinese New Year is considered the most important festival for our year, and it is based on the Chinese lunar calendar and begins on the first day of the first lunar month. And on Chinese New Year's Eve, family members would get together to share a big dinner called gathering around the stove, and they will manage to stay up all night to welcome the new year. And it is considered, it is believed that parents would live a longer life for doing this. And adults that give the younger members, particularly children, red envelopes with cash inside and hope to bring good fortune for them. And in terms of legend, the well-known legend tells story about Nian. Nian is a horrible beast that would attack people on Chinese New Year's Eve. And it is afraid of red color, big noise, and fire flames. So people would pass red paper sprinkles on doors and set off firecrackers to make loud noise in keeping the monster away. And today, family would have spring couples on doors and windows to bring good luck. Next, Dragon Boat Festival is celebrated on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month, and its origin was to commemorate the patriotic point Ch09. And legend has it that when Ch09 jumped to his death in the Nero River, the local people brought the boat to and fro in search of him, and later this practice slowly evolved into dragon boat races. And to protect Ch09's body from becoming fish's food, the people stopped Luna's rise into bamboo section and threw it in the river. And since then, the glutinous rice dumpling has been kept as one of important customs. And then Mid-Autumn Festival, also called the Moon Festival, and it is celebrated on 15th day of the 8th lunar month. And in the past, people chose this day to make offering and thank God for the bountiful harvest. And this celebration has become a time for family to get together. An important activity at this time include eating mooncake, this is mooncake, which symbolizes unity and togetherness, and eating tomatoes. The Chinese term of tomato sounds like care and protection. And family would barbecue under full moon with family and friends, but barbecue has nothing to do with any tradition, and no one actually knows how it began. Yeah. That's for listening.
You want to come and in the front and ask Nicholas if he has any question. 有没有人一起 all together?
Do you have any questions, Nicholas?
Yeah, yeah, all together 一起.
Yes, Bachar. Just a minute. Your country is landlocked. What does that mean?
Well, excuse me, can you repeat it, please?
I've typed it there. Your country is landlocked. What does that mean?
It means it doesn't have access to sea.
Yeah. Is that a problem?
It is maybe a bit of problem because we cannot use the sea trade, but I don't see it as a big problem, but I am not an economist or anything like that, so I don't really understand these things. If it's okay. Very bad for our economy or not, I don't know.
All right, thank you. Interesting. Jasmine, can you cook?
Hello?
Can you cook?
Oh.
Can you cook?
I can cook some dish, but not really well.
No. Who eats it?
Cause I cook really worse, so I have to eat myself.
Oh, thank you. And Zoe, Do you think people in Taiwan are superstitious? Do you know what superstitious means?
迷信。
Yes.
你觉得我们很迷信？
Sometimes.
What is the worst superstition that they have? What is the worst superstition they have?
最糟糕的，因为你说有时候会迷信嘛，那最糟糕的迷信是什么？有没有迷信？我们相信什么东西会有迷信啊？啊 ，ghost， 比如说什么样的事啊？迷信，晚上不要到坟墓那边去吗？还是什么？像他们不是说黑猫走过礼拜五的时候，你就会运气很坏的那种 superstition 啊。所以你说我们有 superstition 是哪一种？啊，比如说女生结婚的时候要扇子要
What's
丢
your
掉。
worst superstition then?
Nicholas, can you say that again?
So, well, what's Zoe's superstition? Is she a superstitious young lady?
你刚刚因为他问你说台湾的人迷不迷信，你说有一点，所以他说你的迷信是什么？ 讲到 everybody's
Goes behind
afraid.
you now. All right, thank you. That was very good.
Nicholas, I have a question.
Yes.
When you ask Volkov if Czech is a landlocked country, what I was thinking, what were you trying to ask? But what were you trying to ask? If a country is
I was just
landlocked?
asking whether it affects life in the country. I mean they can't go and they can't go and bathe in the sea, and they can't run. I think in fact, like you have a river running through Czechoslovakia, the Danube or something.
Yes, we have a lot of rivers there.
Okay, so you know how to swim.
So that
Yes,
makes
of course. But for example, in the South Bohemia, which is Bohemia is the, let's say, left part of our country. We have Bohemia and Moravia, and in the South Bohemia there are a lot of artificial lakes made for fishing. They put young fish there, and after a year or several years, they catch them. So it was really a big thing during the history that South Bohemia were used for fishing. So we don't have a sea, but we have a lot of rivers and a lot of artificial lakes there.
Okay. The reason I ask is because we don't have snow here. So maybe some of us are very good. Maybe some of us are good Olympic, athletes. It will be good in snow skiing, but we never have the opportunity to find out. Yeah. So.
In Czech Republic, we don't have very high mountains, so if we want to go skiing, we need to go to Austria or France or Italy. Those are, I think, the three most visited countries for skiing by Czech people.
Yeah, right. I know many Czech students come here and they want to go to climb high mountains, like Jade Mountain. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions, Nicholas?
No, that's good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your attention.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll call you three, and then you will be put. But we need the background picture, background of your presentation. Nicholas, give us some time. We want to take a good picture of this group.
Oh,
Yeah.
you need a very strong camera.
Wait. Again? Wait. 是怎么样？
因为他的脸会被
哦，可是他要背景啊。我 不要他后面的那个他们的 presentation 的题目啊？他的 presentation 的题目有吗？有。要不要再来一张？还是这样？你看 see if they like it， 你看给他们看。If it's okay with you.
For me, it's okay.
We can send it to you.
Okay.
And also you will be in the class.
Okay.
In the class.
Thank you. Pearl, could we have a 5-minute break? And then I'm going to talk about the
Resume?
next assignment, the resume.
Okay. Okay. 5
then,
minutes.
And then if time, I'll talk about the presentations that,
Okay.
the profiles I've seen. Okay, so just a few minutes.
Okay. 5 minutes
Okay.
break. Nicholas.
Yep. Okay. All right, phones away. Okay. I want to talk briefly about the next assignment, which I will commence this week or next week as you wish. Lily,
Hi, hello.
what is a resume?
Resume is something you can show your experience or introduce yourself.
What is the focus of a resume in Taiwan? How do they do it? What sort of structure, I mean?
Mm, mm, I think the resume in Taiwan. Hello?
Yes?
The resume in Taiwan usually includes the school you attend or the job experience and something special you have achieved, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Um, sorry, I'm just typing this here. In Australia, in the West, there's a slightly different focus on resumes. Um, have you had a job yet?
Uh, I only have part-time job in school.
All right. What did you do?
Um, Now I'm having a job uh, sitting at the library's information desk.
Is that really a job?
I think because I got paid, so that's kind
Oh,
of
that's good. All
job.
right, it's a real job then if you're getting paid.
Mm.
Now, over the next 4 to 5 weeks between now and the next exam, who's making all that noise, Lily?
Hello. Sorry, that's a bit noisy out there, so I
All right.
couldn't hear you.
All right, who's making all that noise?
Um, Other class.
Oh, another class. All right. Um, now, in this 5 sections to this resume, and each week I'm going to talk about one section. I'll talk about them all in brief today, but I'll give you an example, and then you're going to have to make up your own resume. So at the end of 5 or 6 weeks, you send me a resume. Now I'm keeping it very simple. So if you want a resume in English, you can get one. If you want feedback, what's feedback, Lily?
Feedback is you do something and others give you their opinions about the thing you do.
Good, that's fine. Thank you. Jasmine? No, Jasmine, she's gone. Cindy,
Hi.
if you got feedback, So if you got feedback, would you like positive or negative feedback?
Positive.
So all right. Now there's positive, there's negative, and there's constructive. What do you think constructive feedback means?
Uh, it means useful.
Yes, good. And can that be negative?
Also useful.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Now, the first part of your resume is your personal details. Now, I put them in a box here, but I would suggest when you did it, I'm not going to tell you how to format your resume, but it must look pretty. Daniel?
Hello.
If I say a resume must look pretty, what do I mean? So if you're doing a resume for me, and I say it must look pretty, what does it mean?
It needs to have a lot of color or some photos on it.
Yeah, no, be careful of color. Resumes should be just black and white, possibly a picture of you, but it must be formatted. What does formatted mean? I've printed that there for you. It must be formatted well. Or formatted means it must all be presented well. So when you do a Word document, it looks nice. So this is formatted. I put them in tables. And so these are the things that you're telling me. And this is an example. So his name, address, mobile number. If you have a home number, that's fine. Email, current driver's license if you have one, or if you have a scooter license, and a languages spoken. Daniel, what languages do you speak?
I can speak Mandarin, English, and a little bit of French.
All right. So here I put native oral and English skills in Mandarin. So that's you because your first language is Mandarin. Now English. Now would you put high level? What's oral? You know what's oral?
Oral.
Yes.
It's just speaking.
Right. Now, so in English, I've said high level oral and written skills. What level would you say you were at? Low, middle, or high in English?
I think it's middle.
Okay, that's a reasonable suggestion. So this will be the first week. Now I'll make the first week next week, and I'll give you one, possibly two sections, because I'd like this finished within a month. So next week, I'll say, right, you're going to produce this section, the personal details, which should be easy, because all of you do know this information. Lucy?
Hi.
What is your transport? Have you got a driver's license?
Yes, I've got a driver's license.
Okay. Do you have a scooter license as well?
Yes.
Well, you put both down here if you did. Now, what languages you speak? You speaking Mandarin, English, anything else?
Taiwanese.
Taiwanese. All right, that's good. Now, I haven't put date of birth here. Lily, what's your date? Not what is date of birth? What does it mean?
Birthday.
That's right, your birthday and your year. Now I know in Taiwan, you might, if you were born on the 19th of September, I don't know, 92, um, in the West, or in Australia and Britain, we put 1992. Now, I know a lot of you like the Americans who put 1992. So what I suggest is that instead of putting either of these, write it out, 19 September 92, and then there's no misunderstanding. Now, who has travelled to the West? Who's been in the West? Actually, Michael.
Yes, I have
Do
traveled
you
to the
have?
West.
Yeah, obviously. Do you have to give your date of birth in resumes you do? Do you have to say when you were born and your year?
Yeah, I think you can mention it with your personal information, like where are you coming, where do you live, what is your date birth.
It's
Yeah, I think it's the
interesting because
basic one, but
in
yeah.
Australia, we're not actually allowed to ask you your date of birth because it's privacy rules. We're not supposed to
Oh,
ask your gender either, which is interesting. Because a lot of
that's
the time,
interesting.
yeah. Sarah,
Hi.
now gender. Which are you, male, female, or transgender? You're not sure, Sarah? Sarah, what gender are you?
I'm female.
What's a transgender?
Boys change to girls or girls
Yeah,
change
that's right.
to.
They haven't made their mind up yet. All right. Now, the next part of a resume is the employment history. Now, many of you I know have not had employment yet, so I want you to be creative. Tuba, when I say you want to be creative, what do I mean? Think of the use here. I wish you to be creative about your resume. What am I saying?
Yes, general the companies wants to be creative in the
Yeah,
CV, but
but I'm
uh,
not asking for that. I'm using the word creative. I said most of the people here have not had employment yet. So I want them to be creative about what they tell me. What does it mean?
uh, they should put something that you shocked you,
No,
but
make it up.
you. Is it real or not?
No, it doesn't need to be real. I'm trying to give you an example of a resume you can use. Now, Tuba, have you had a job yet?
Yes, I did. I had a 3 or 4 experience in my country.
All right, that's good. What have you done?
Uh, I was internship in 2 companies. One of
Okay.
them is finance and the other one is marketing department.
All right. Well,
And I worked in the business club.
all right. Well, you'd
But
put
it's
all
a
that
real
down
job. Why are
here.
you laughing? Sorry, could you
So,
please repeat? Because
yeah,
Washak
you
is
would
smiling.
you would put that here. So now this is reverse. It's in reverse chronological order. What does that mean? Reverse chronological order.
Because it should start with the last one until the
Correct.
the beginning one.
That's right.
Not
So you
like that.
start with the
Yes.
most recent and go backwards. So and then you have to
Yes.
put where it was, what you did, and what. Just a very brief list of what you did there. Now, if who can I pick on now? Lee Yin Yun, how are you? Lee
Yes.
Yin, have you had a job yet? Any experience? Any work experience?
Yeah, part-time job.
Okay, what did you do?
selling healthy products.
Okay, well, you'd put that down as your work experience. Who hasn't got work experience in your class, Leon? Who has not got work experience?
Are you asking the whole class?
Yes, do you, no, I'm asking you. Do you know of anybody?
I don't know.
Sandy, have you worked?
Hello?
Have you had a job yet of anything at all?
Yes, I have part-time job
And what do you do?
in a sushi restaurant.
Okay, can you cook?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. You should cook sushis for all the class.
No, I just service, just a
Oh,
service.
I think you should still make a sushi and see what happens. Jasmine, are you there?
Hi.
Have you had a job yet?
No.
All right, when you do this section, I want you to pretend you've had a job. You can't just put nothing, so pretend you've had a job. So
Any
what
kind
job
of
would you
job.
like? It's up to you, any kind of job. Don't, when I say be creative, I mean make it up. So don't go mad. Just say, well, I was, I don't know, what job would, if you had a part-time job now, where would you like to do it?
Maybe in a school.
What would you do in the school?
Uh, mm, typing.
All right, so that would be, we call it a personal assistant, or personal assistance, or possibly an administrative assistant, something like that. Sounds better than secretary. So you put administrative assistant as the position. I don't. Could be the Kaohsiung University, and then duties. What? So you do typing. What else would you do as an administrative assistant, Jasmine? Two other things. So would you answer phones?
Mm, yes.
And one other.
Uh, mm,
Greet.
great people who come
That
to the school.
that's right. So you greet people who come in, something like that. So make it up. So that when you come to do this bit, then I want at least one thing here, either real, if you have had work experience, or if you haven't, just do something you think you might do one day or would like to, so that if and when you need a resume in English, you actually have the experience. If you want to ask me, I'm quite prepared to help you. Now, um, Louis, no, Tiffany,
Yes.
what are community and leisure interests?
Um, the group you have joined before,
That's right.
or what's you do often in your leisure
Now,
time?
that's right. So hobbies, community things, volunteering. Now, I know from your student profiles, which I'll come to in a minute, that you've all got community and leisure interests. Now, when you have no work experience, these are very important because they tell a possible employer what you're like. So if you say that I have nothing, I just play computer games and never go out, do you think you'll get a job, Tiffany?
Maybe in computer company, I think.
Well, possibly, but let's not. But even
Yeah.
computer geeks have to get out, So a lot of you play
Yes.
badminton, some of you swim, one of you works at the Buddhist temple, cooking, walking, organizing, whatever. But put down things you do. So, Tiffany, what would you put here?
I've once been a supervisor of finance camp in my
Okay.
department. Yes.
Okay. What else? You must have done something.
And about interest, I like yoga and listening to
Yeah.
music and movies.
What sort of movies? Violent ones.
Different kinds.
All right. Thank you. Lily.
Thank you.
Hi.
What are your community and leisure interests?
Um, I used to be in a volleyball club in my
Yep.
freshman year and second year. And
You still
I
do that?
have no, not now. And I have been in a guitar club in my also the freshman year and second year.
Yes, and you do a lot of instruments too. Okay, thank you. Vaclav, what do you do?
What do I do? That's a good question.
Yes.
For example, I like sports.
Yep.
So in my leisure time, I usually do some sport. Uh, I used to play badminton for several years when I was younger, but now I just play it for fun. There was an amateur league in Prague, so I was part of it. I also liked football, and now I like going to the gym. So
Okay.
that's.
Have
But
you had work
also
experience as well yet?
I also like working with the computer, some learning some new things, what to do with it,
Good.
some programming, etc.
Right.
And I had some work experience because I was, let's say, a substitute teacher in my high school. I was teaching informatics, so for it was almost a year, so it was a good experience to
Is,
to
is that a
teach
possible
younger
career
people.
for you, teaching?
I am not sure. I enjoyed it, but maybe not for a full-time job. Maybe
Okay.
just like this, like substitution or like that.
Okay. All right, thank you. Howard,
Hi.
what are your community and leisure interests? Are you a great sports person?
Now I am the member of volleyball club.
Okay. Are you 6 feet tall?
No.
Are you good at volleyball?
So it's not very good.
Does it give you good exercise?
Yes.
Good. Now stay there, Howard. I'm just putting another one up here. Now, what is a referee, Howard, on a resume? What is a referee?
It's about personal detail.
Yep. And not really personal details. Um, it's somebody who wants to say, who I can ring to say, what is Howard like? Or I can contact. So I'll give you an example here. So have you had a job in the past, Howard, yet? Have you had any work experience?
I don't have part-time job now.
Okay. Um, what are you studying? What course?
Uh, information management.
Okay. Have you got a lecturer who would give you a reference? Would be your referee. References is the other way of talking about this. So is there somebody who you could say, well, you could ring them and say, look, I want to apply for a job, but they want a referee, a reference. So who might it be?
Paul. Oh. 呃，发音啊，pearl。
All right, pearl gone red. So you'd have pearl fan, and
Yeah,
hopefully,
yeah.
well, yeah, and then you put lecturer, and then Kaohsiung University, and then her phone number and email. And hopefully, if I contact her, she'll say yes. You know, Howard's a fantastic person, hard worker, dedicated student, never does anything wrong. So, but a referee, you need referees for or references for your resume. Now, I will go over this again next week a little bit slower, and I'll tell you what the assignment. I'll put the assignment up in the meantime. But the assignment is those 5 different things: community, leisure, employment, personal details. You have to you have to come up with a resume, and you can send it to me little by little over 3 or 4 weeks, and I will tell you yes, it's good, or no, it's rubbish. And then at the end of it, it's out of 10%. So this is an easy 10% if you do it properly. Now, quickly, I want to talk briefly about. Actually, do you have any immediate questions on that, Pearl? All right. Now, I have received all your student profiles. So I've got all of them. I haven't marked all of them yet, but I've got them all. Now, I'm just going to point out some things I've noted. Most of you have got reasonable marks. Now, you must talk. Now, I know there's at least one of you, possibly 2, that just sent pictures. You must talk. Now, if the 2 people concerned, they've got fairly no marks. You know, one of you knows the other, but a student profile. I did intend you to talk. You can't just send pictures. So I will send. I've given you a mark, but you can increase the mark if you send back your profile with some talking on it. Now that was one thing that, as I said, a couple of you didn't do. Now another one. I will just put these up. So I wrote these remarks as I went last week, and as I said, I haven't entirely finished marking them, so some of you haven't got your mark yet. But so, as I said, you must talk. Now, some of you scripted it, which is good. Scripted means you wrote out what you were going to say or some ideas, then you talked. So that's good. Some of you also talk off the cuff. Tuba, what does that mean, off the cuff? If you talk off the cuff.
So sorry, we are. Yeah,
That's all right.
I'm listening
If
now.
you talk off the cuff, what does that mean?
Uh, I couldn't hear. Could you please say it again?
If you talk off the cuff, what does it mean?
Off
Do
the
you know?
cuff.
Yes.
I don't know. Off the cuff.
All right. It's not scripted. You just talk. So we're talking now. You're answering my questions off the cuff. That's just spontaneously. All right. So there were 2 ways of some people. Some people felt comfortable talking in English. You certainly talked a lot, Tuba, and yours was off the cuff. It wasn't scripted. Some of you,
Okay,
you
I got
followed
it
a
now.
script. Okay. So either of those is
Okay.
okay, and in general they were very good. Please don't swear in videos. There were 2 episodes of that. I haven't marked people down, but if you ever send a video or a profile to anybody, don't swear unless you know them very well. Now, several of you use background music. Jasmine, what's the problem with background music? If you have a video with background music, what's the problem?
maybe what you say won't be heard.
Correct. Now, I had this problem with at least 4 of you, that the background music was loud. So if you ever use music, keep it very soft. Okay? Now, I could hear most people, but don't use it at all is my advice, or if you do, very soft. So we want to hear you, not the music, and that's important. Okay. Now, as I said, I will mark the rest of them by tomorrow morning. If you haven't gotten, you should get an email from me. If you haven't got one, send me an email, but I believe I've got most of them now. Now, just a couple of things. Cindy,
Hello.
what's the plural of stuff?
Can you say again? Can you
What
say
is the
again?
plural? What does stuff mean, that word?
Things.
Yes. Now, if you have many things, how do you use the word? I have many things. Put stuff in that sentence.
Oh. Stuff.
All right. If I put I have a lot of things,
I
how
have a
how would
lot
I?
of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. It is not stuffs. All right. Now, again, I did tell one person off for this. I didn't mark them down. They put stuffs, or they said stuffs. This stuff is not, no S, it's stuff. It's an informal word. I have a lot of stuff. It is not, I have a lot of stuffs. It's the same with information. I have a lot of information, not informations. Stuff, information, same with data. I have a lot of data, not I have a lot of datas. So these are words which are singular, but they have a plural meaning. So be careful when you do. And it's the same with staff. What is staff, Cindy? If you're a staff member, what does it mean?
Employee.
That's right.
Employ.
So a member of staff, it could be singular. Cindy is a member of staff, or Cindy and Michael are members of staff. So it is a plural or singular depending how you use it. But all these words, they don't put S. It's the same with sheep. We don't say sheeps, it's only sheep. All right? So be careful when you do these, particularly when you're writing or saying them, because it's quite well, a lot of Western people, particularly when you're in uni, don't like to see informations or stuffs or sheeps or staffs or something. All right? So, but in particular, in your videos, be careful of background music. Don't swear. Talk as you need to, either spontaneously off the cuff or scripted, but you do have to talk. Now, the 2 people that did not talk on their videos, I've given you a mark, which you know what it is. If you want to increase that mark, you need to send me either the same video with talking or you talking. That's up to you. Okay? Now, are there any questions about this? As I said, if you haven't got your mark yet, you'll have it either tonight or in the morning. Are there any questions about the video profiles?
Nicholas,
Yep.
in general, do you think those their video profiles are good enough to be used to apply for jobs or internship or
I
scholarship,
think if they're
or
going to do that, I think if they did that, in general, these were very well done. This was a trial to see what people could do, and some people made a very big effort. And yes, if it was scripted, so in other words, you plan what you're going to say, or actually write it out, yes. If you are very good at English, some of you have good English skills, then you can sort of talk about a few subjects. I would not use any background music in any video you're going to send in for a professional purpose. That's one comment I would make. And again, obviously don't swear. And also, if you're going to have a professional video, you really need to keep it to 3 to 5 minutes, not some of you sent 6 to 8 minutes. I didn't mark you down, they were quite interesting actually. But so you need to be careful of length, the content, and make sure they can hear you. But can they use this? Some could, Pearl, they were well done. Others need a bit of work on them.
Since many of them are just freshmen, so I think there are ample time for them to do improvement.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they can take
They could take this next term and I'll mark them more severely.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Okay, great.
All right. Okay, thank you. I'll see you next week and I'll tell you more about these. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Have a good week.
Have a nice weekend.